the eggs. So when the eggs first develop, they're called primordial follicles. And as they start to develop, they become surrounded by other cells that support the cells. And so once it becomes surrounded by other cells that support it, it's called a follicle, not an egg. You know, the egg itself is called an oocyte. And so those cells start to surround it as we start to form what are called primary follicles. And then as it gets a little bit more mature, can you see the cells that are surrounding this egg cell? And there's a little bit of fluid starting to accumulate there. That's called a secondary follicle. When you get, here's the egg cell, the oocyte, with lots of fluid in there, big structure, that is called a graphian or what's the other term? Vesicular follicle, thank you, or vesicular follicle. And it's when it's at this stage right here that this oocyte or egg cell is mature enough to become fertilized. So the eggs move to the edge of the ovary and then they're expelled once a month, right? One egg is expelled, picked up by the fallopian tubes. Meanwhile, while all of this is occurring, while the maturation is occurring, the endometrium has been building up nice and thick so that if the egg does get fertilized, it's going to make its way over here and implant right here. If the egg doesn't get fertilized, then the endometrium is shed and it leaves through the uterus and through the vagina and what we know as menstruation, right? And for the males in the class, in the menstruation, the female can take care, because you're going to have female patients that you may need to take care of. And the female, when they take care of the menstruation, there are two ways. They can either use cotton pads, right, that they can put on their underwear that will take up all of the blood and tissue that it goes down through the uterus into the vagina, or they can also use tampons, which is just a cotton pad that you can with a string attached to that you can insert in the vagina, and when all of the blood comes down, it catches it, and then you can just pull on the string when it's full, and then use that to just continue changing it in that manner. So that is, I just wanted to show you that because we're going to look right now at the different stages of egg cell development, and this is what it's going to look like. Now, in this model right here, do not think that in your ovaries, females, that you have this egg just nicely along, going like this. You have about 100,000 oocytes, each of them at different stages of development. It's not like they're here in a nice little line and then they come along, like that. No. But you always have just one of them that is reaching that full maturation and one that is excreted. Sometimes you'll get two that are secreted or even more, and that's when you get the multiple births. And that's usually caused once in a while. It is natural. It's not that common naturally, but if you're taking fertility drugs, if you're trying to increase your chances of getting pregnant and taking fertility drugs, then you stimulate many of these oocytes to develop, so you release many, and so all those sperm cells can then fertilize all of those many egg cells. But normally you just release one.